Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar today. I have a special guest, Rachel Adams-Lee. I'm going to tell you about her in just a moment. Do me a favor, type in the chat box for me a quick hello so we know you can hear us loud and clear. I'm Debbie DeGroat, CEO and co-founder of Forward Coaching. Welcome to all the friends that I saw that registered. Lots of familiar faces and some new faces, some new names. So thank you for registering. We have a really great webinar, lots and lots of content. And let me just give you a little refresher of what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about beat the algorithm. How do you dominate your local market through social media description? Rachel is going to share with you new changes to the algorithm, what to post, when to post, how to post. Also, how to grow your following. She's also going to share some of the top mistakes that realtors are making on their social media and what are really the best tools. Because I know there's a lot of bright and shiny objects out there, Rachel, but what actually are the best tools to help you find buyers and sellers? So what I'm going to do is introduce you to Rachel. Then I'm going to just go away because this is not a topic of my specialty. She has so much content for you, though. You're really going to want to focus, right? Maybe, turn off the cell phone, grab a scratch pad to take some great notes. Our goal is that you will take away at least 2 or 3 highly actionable items that you can go out and implement immediately. Now, she's going to stuff a lot of content into this webinar. And often after a webinar like this, we'll get questions like, how do I get more? How do I get more time with Rachel? Rachel is going to let you know at the end of the webinar, if you need more assistance, how do you do that? How can you reach her? How can you access more of her awesome talent? So let me introduce you to her. She is the founder of Rachel Adams-Lee Group at Keller Williams. She currently ranks in the top 1% of all realtors in Placer and Sacramento County since 2015. She's been named Wall Street Journal top 1,000 agents in the U.S. Now, Rachel, I know last year it was around 70 million in sales volume. Any projection of what that's going to look like this year?
We'll probably be honestly pretty close, similar to that, except we're really focusing on increasing our price point. So we'll have a higher price point and a little bit less volume, which I'm all about that price point. So that's good
Absolutely.
for me.
And she's the 3rd generation realtor, loves what she does, passionate about helping people achieve their goals, fabulous, busy mom who actually has the mad skills of making it all work, but you got a great husband. I've met him. Yep. He's terrific. Her motto is, we live here, we work here, and we're here for you. So she's very deeply rooted in her community, very invested. And that's why she really uses social media to have innovative ways to build those relationships. So her passion is talking about this topic today, helping others succeed, whether you're a working mom, a working dad. I mean, especially when you have children at home, you got to find faster and easier ways of connecting with people. And Rachel, one of my favorite sayings is, we really want to help them expand their range, their reach, and their influence in their local community, right? So I know you're going to tell them how to do it. So I'm going to get out of the way. Guys, I'm leaving you in awesome, excellent hands. Have fun. Type your questions in the chat, please. Rachel may not go straight to them because she may know that it's coming up in her content. But Rachel, maybe at the end, could just scan back through and just have a nice little wrap up of any of the questions that were not answered, right?
Yep, that sounds amazing.
All right, well, have some fun together, guys. I will see you next week.
All right, thanks, Debbie. Appreciate you. Hi, friends. Oh my goodness, we are here. We're alive. We're doing the dang thing. My name is Rachel Adams Lee. I'm super excited to get to hang with you today. I think we have a bunch of people who I already know, but is there anyone here who's first time hanging with me, coaching with me? If you're a first timer, let me know. Oh, Alfreda's a newbie. First time. Okay, I'm super excited. Um, wow, there's a lot of first timers. Okay, well, this is going to be super fun. So today's going to be jam packed. Everyone's like, okay, I just want to have one or two things I can implement. Today, you're going to get 37 and 1,000. But really, you're going to hear a lot of things today. My goal for you is to just have like one or two really good things where you're like, she's talking to me. That's the thing I'm going to implement. So how's it going down today? So we are going to start by talking about my social media model. I have built 4, 6, and 7-figure businesses, all of them through social media. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build the foundation. We're going to talk about how to build a strong foundation through social media. And then once we get the foundation, we're then going to move into the changes that have happened in the algorithm from 2024 to 2025. If I'm talking weird, I have a really good excuse because I'm very pregnant and we have 3 kids, and our 4th little babe is going to be popping out in June. So all the things, you guys, we're like a month out from having a baby. Life's a little bananas, but it's beautiful and crazy and like, all of it. So you guys ready? Ready to do the thing? Okay, so first things first, in the chat, I want you guys to share with me who you are, where you're tuning in from, because you never know who's watching, you never know who you're going to inspire, and you never know where your next referral is coming from. And my passion, honestly, is really to just make sure that like we are like adding value all the time, because you never know how you're going to connect with that next relationship and what you're going to offer that they need in their life. You guys, we're all over the world. I freaking love it. Look at this, all over the world, all over the country. Love it. Yes. If you need a referral, scope that, because you guys, your next referral partner is waiting for you. All right. I'm going to go ahead and share screen. La, la, la. Okay. So Debbie kind of chatted a little bit about how like I for sure want to answer your guys' questions, and it gets a little bit intense when I'm like jamming on a topic. So I just want to let you know that like if you have questions and I miss them, like I'll try to stay up on the questions, but I will leave time at the end for Q&A. So don't stress about it. Like make sure to write your question down. If you want to put it in the chat, by all means, and if I can get to it and it's like on topic, then I'll do it. But if not, we'll definitely get to it. And then just so you know, this call is being recorded. If you registered, you're absolutely going to get a copy of it. And they emailed you a handout ahead of time for you to print that basically is just like going to go along with this presentation so that you have like really good notes and you have a copy of my model and all of that. If you don't have it, don't stress about it. Just do it on a regular piece of paper or on your cell phone, whatever you want to do, and you can transfer it later. Cool? Are you guys ready? Are you excited? Let's do it. All right, let's talk beat the algorithm in 2025, guys. We're going to dominate your local market. So who the heck am I and where are we hanging out today? So my name is Rachel Adams Lee and I'm in Northern California. Send your referrals. And I've been in real estate for 13 years. So I got in real estate in 2012. There were short sales, there were REOs. Everyone told me not to go into real estate. So a funny thing, she talked about being 3rd generation. My grandma was a realtor, my dad was a realtor, and I was like, I'm never going into real estate. I don't know if there's any other real estate kids here, but I will say like, it was just different when I got into real estate. Like my parents, like my dad was a realtor, and he would miss dinner time and he would miss games and different things because he was always doing like showings. And I just think nobody really talked about work-life balance back then. And so I'm really passionate about making sure that we talk about that now. And so when I decided I was going to get into real estate, I was like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do it differently. So I was working a full-time job at a front desk at a real estate office, and I was unlicensed. And I remember just seeing all these paychecks coming through, and I was like, dang, they're making so much money than me, more money than me. At that point in my life, things were a little bit different, a lot bit different. I was in a really unhealthy marriage. My ex-husband was 80% disabled, and 50% was PTSD from the Marine Corps. So it was just a really hard time. So I'm at this front desk of this office. My job is like, you're going to get your offer accepted. You got this, like rah, rah. And then I cried myself to sleep every night because my personal life was a mess. It's like I knew I wanted more for my life. I didn't know what it looked like. And I remember hearing about a real estate class that my brokerage, Keller Williams, put on, and it was called Bold. And I've since taken it 9 times, but I heard this quote that rocked my world. And it was change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. Change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. Like I was always in a scarcity mindset that I couldn't quit my job. It was safe. I knew how much money was coming in. Like it was only $15, but it was $15 an hour I could count on. The thing I never counted on before was me. And so I decided that I was going to jump into real estate with both feet. And by both feet, I legit mean both feet. My first year was ridiculous. It was so intense. I door knocked 200 doors every week. Knock, 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 200 doors. Did 3 open houses every single week. So knocked 200 doors, did 3 open houses. Side note, if you want to door knock, I have really good training videos on YouTube, totally free. And then I just yesterday on my Instagram posted a video. So if you go to Instagram and you type in open house on my last reel, you will see that I will send you an 18-minute video on how I converted a $1.75 million buyer at my last open house. So I give you like my whole system. It's 18 minutes. But just take a note if you guys want to watch that later. So knocking all the doors, doing all the open houses, and I didn't sell any homes for 4 months. So brand new agent, broke as a joke, paycheck behind a paycheck. And in those 4 months, even though I didn't sell any homes, I was obsessed with script practice. I was doing the boring things nobody wants to do. I wrote my listing presentation out, you guys, 100 days in a row. 100 days in a row, I wrote this sucker out. It took like the first time it took like 2 hours and 34 minutes, got it down to like an hour. But the thing that I think about is while I didn't close deals in those first 4 months, it set the foundation for me and it set the tone for just hard work and knowing that this was a career I needed to be in. And so, in those 4 months, I learned all the things. And the next remaining 7 months of the year, or the next 7 months, I sold 39 houses and got Rookie of the Year. So 39 houses my first year, then 109 the second, then 123 the third. That's when I hit Wall Street Journal's top 1,000 agents in the country. Still have that designation today. It's definitely a wild bananas career, as you guys know. I've had really big teams. I've had really small teams. I've learned for me, I'm much more passionate about having a smaller team where we're profitable versus big and broke and just looking big for the sake of being big. Let's see what else. I'm a social media coach, what we're going to talk about today. That's my favorite thing. I've got my little babes. So I've got Henry, Harrison, and Hayden. Henry is 5. Harrison, the curly hair, is 3, and Hayden is 2 years old. And then we're pregnant with our 4th, which we don't know if it's a boy or a girl. We will find out June 17th. Mark your calendars, follow along. We don't know if it's a boy or a girl. Let's see. Married to the most attractive man in America, Ryan Lee. If you don't know him, you should. He's amazing. My favorite person. Let's see what else. I'm a coach. I love what I do. I like Nutella, probably more than the average human should. And right before I got pregnant, I lost 50 pounds from all my baby weight. And then I get to do it again. Yay. Okay. Are we ready? Are you guys excited? What's your like excitement level? 1 being like, I don't know why I'm here. 10 being like, this chick's kind of cool. Like, I think I'm going to do this thing. And 10 or 5 that. And 10 is like, let's freaking go. 10. I like all my 10s. My 10s can hang. Okay. Why social media? So social media, you guys, is the wave of the future. It is where we're at now. It's where your clients are. NAR says that 89% of all realtors are on social, which means that if you're not on social, you're going to get left behind. Okay. And to me, I think my next buyer and my next seller are on social media. So I want to be mastering that. I want to be connecting with my community. I want to be adding value. And the thing is, like, companies are taking their money away from TV. Oh, a 12. I got a 12 from Alyssa. I like it. Away from TV, away from magazines, and they're putting them on social because that's where their audience is and that's where our audience is. So I want to break down first the algorithm because I feel like people like you throw around the word like the algorithm. Oh, you got to beat the algorithm. And you're like, cool. What are you talking about? So the algorithm, simply put, is the impact and the influence you have on social. It's the eyes you get on your content. Okay. So let's talk about what it looks like. Okay. You can make a post. Now, a post counts as a static post, which is like a picture with some words, a video, like a reel, right? 90 seconds, 3 minutes or less now, but 90 seconds or less. Or it can be a carousel post, which is the ones you like swipe through, right? So let's talk about what happens if you do post and it doesn't go anywhere. So you do a post, it's going to reach somewhere between 7 and 10% of your followers. Okay. A couple non-followers usually. If it doesn't do well, if it's not good content, they're going to ignore it and your post is going to fail. They're going to scroll away. They're not going to engage. They're not going to complete reading your caption. They're not interested. Your content sucks, right? What happens if you do this well, though? So you're going to reach that 7 to 10% of your followers. They start to engage. Ooh, what are you posting? This was good. This engaged, like this got my attention. Then you're going to reach more followers and non-followers. They're going to keep engaging. Then they're going to recommend you on the explore page and the home page, continue to engage, and you have the opportunity to go viral. Now, viral is not the be all end all. We just went viral we did a like pretend gender reveal because everyone's like, oh my God, are you having a boy or a girl? And so I told my husband, I'm like, let's mess with them. Let's do like, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but like, did you guys see this video that we did? So like, it's this trend where you take like a cake and you take wine glasses and you push it into the cake and it comes out and it's either pink or blue. And it's this like viral trend right now. So I was like, let's do this video, but let's have the cake be white because I know that we're waiting. Now it's not my preference to wait. It's my husband's preference, but he let me find out at like 7 weeks with all of them because I'm a psychopath and I like to plan ahead. And so this is the last baby. And he was like, I really want to wait. And I was like, okay, deal. Cause I had to like work him pretty hard to have another baby. So, we do this reel and it's at 11.4 million views right now. It like keeps growing, but the people are angry. They're like, you have ruined not just my day, my month, my year. And I'm like, oh man, you've got problems if this like person you don't know cutting into a cake is like pissing you off. But viral is not the be all end all. What you're really looking for is likes and comments, saves and shares, profile visits. And the number one thing, so if you're taking notes, I want you to write this down. The number one thing that the algorithm is looking for in 2025 is your watch time. Your watch time, how long you can keep them on your platform, binging your content, watching your reels, reading your captions. Like that is the goal here. Okay. So when you're on social, you should have two primary objectives. You're either educating them or you're entertaining them. Okay. You're either educating them or you're entertaining them. Now I'm going to stop this share really quick here because I want to show you an example of what I'm talking about. And what I love about social is that we can like make this happen in real life for you right now. Let's see. Pull up the chat. Can you guys still see my screen? What I'm doing right now? Hopefully. Can someone tell me if you can see my screen? Thank you. Okay, cool. So, okay, here is my Instagram page. Please head over there. You guys are welcome to follow me so you can see what I'm talking about because I'm going to post some goodies for you guys after this. So I'm on my page. What I want you to notice is every single thing that I do is going to have a hook. The hook is going to be the first thing you see on the screen. And my goal here is to entertain you with the video or the picture, right? And educate you in the caption. So let's do an example. Let's see. I want to find, okay, this one's really simple. So this video right here got 32,000 people looking at it. It says the 5 things you need to ask the age of when you're buying a home. So the 5 things you need to ask the age of when you're buying a home. The video, really simple, you guys. It's literally me for 7 seconds walking into a vacant listing. I pop words on the screen, but what I'm doing is I'm entertaining them. And then what do you see me doing in the caption? Here is where I educate. Here is where I make myself like the market expert. Okay. And I literally just list out the things that I think you should ask about. And the thing about this that was really great is it had so it only had 9 people comment, but it had like, I think it had like like 50 different people saved it, 32,000 people saw it. And what I'm doing there is I'm educating and I'm entertaining. And so all of these things that you see, everything I go through, you're going to notice, you're going to be like, oh, okay, so she talks about her kid. She talks about being a realtor, right? She talks about personal growth. She talks about positive body image. You know exactly what you can expect when you go to my page. And every single post I make, whether it's a post, a carousel, a reel, they're all going to have the same thing in common, which is I want to entertain them with the video, the post. I want to educate them with the caption. Cool? All right, let's keep jamming. So educate and entertain, that's your primary objective here on social. And so I want to ask you this, like, how are you providing value? What does it look like for you on social? Like, what are you doing that are going to keep people coming back to your page? Because I'm going to tell you this, they might find you because you're in real estate, you guys, but they're going to stick around because of who you are and how you make them feel. It sounds weird, but like your social media actually doesn't have that much to do with you and it's how it makes somebody feel when they look at your content, right? And most people are like, oh, I'm a realtor. Look at my open house. Look at my new listing. Look at my award that I just got. Look at how amazing I am. Freaking boring. They're going to delete you. They're going to block you. They're going to unfollow you because you are more than just what you do, right? It is who you are that matters. And you are not just your job. There's so much more to you. So you have to start talking about yourself more on social. And in my 9-step model that we're going to go over now, I'm going to literally walk you through how you can build this business with a 9-step social media model. Now, the other thing I would suggest to you, if you're taking notes, take a screenshot of this right here that you're seeing. I'll smile for you. Ready? Great. You got your screenshot. What I want you to do is I want you to add value to your followers. So what does that look like? What it looks like is this. You're going to make a post later on after this call is over, probably tomorrow morning. So you hit the algorithm, which we'll talk about. And you're going to say something to the effect of, got to learn from a top 1,000 agent in the country how she gets over 100 referrals every year through social media. If you want a copy of my notes, leave your email below. Now that's the post you're making, right? And then you're going to take really good notes today. And then you're going to share those notes with every person who comments on your post. And they're going to be leaving you their emails. What are you doing then? You're adding value to your database and you're growing your audience. And when you're somebody who's always adding value to your database, you then become somebody they want in their world and they're going to turn to. And when they need to buy or sell a home, they're going to come right back to you. Okay? Real estate's a relationship-based business, you guys. We just happen to be in the business of buying and selling houses, right? So I want you to think about social media as an opportunity to build relationships, to connect with others, to add value. By the way, you happen to buy or sell a home, right? So this is in your workbook, but let's go ahead and start with how you actually create a foundation for real estate. First thing you're going to do, friends, is you're going to come up with your 5 pillars of content. Number 1 is going to be real estate. That's the industry that you're in. But I want you to think about if you and I were on a walk and we're walking through a park and we see a park bench and we sit down. I'm like, oh my gosh, tell me about fill in the blank. I want you to come up with 5 things you could talk about where you wouldn't need to do any research because it's something that matters to you, that you care about. If you're married and you have kids, I hope you like them. You would write that down. Hunting and fishing, DIY, travel, like whatever floats your boat, you're going to write it down. Some people, they're like coffee and wine. I'm like, perfect. We can work with that. Right? So I want you to come up with 5 pillars of content you feel passionate that you could talk about with social media. I'm going to give you guys a minute to get that dialed and then we'll jump back in. So go ahead and take some time, write this down, and we will go from there. Okay, so Renee said, are these pillars we can use to separate highlight categories on Instagram? Yeah, you absolutely could do that for sure. But you will see that highlights are going to be moving in the new algorithm. So I'll show you that too. So don't stress too much about your highlights because they're not going to be where they were. Okay. So if you were to go on my social, what are you going to see? You're going to see me talk about real estate and being an entrepreneur. You're going to see me talk about being a wife and a mama. You're going to see me talk about postpartum health and fitness. You're going to see me talk about personal growth and being the best version of myself. You're also going to see me talk about multiple streams of income. Side note, I have a webinar coming up on May 29th that's totally free, and you guys are welcome to come hang. And it talks about how I create an additional stream of income as a realtor. We make about 30 to 40,000 a month through that. And it's all about creating coaching courses and digital products as entrepreneurs. So if you guys want access to that, make sure you reach out to me and I'll show you how I can connect you with that at the end. All right, module number 2. When are we posting, friends? So I will tell you that if you Google like best time to post, you might get like 7 in the morning till like 8 a.m. or whatever. I don't want you stressing about the exact time to post for the algorithm. What I want you thinking is, when is the time that you could be super consistent and post every single day? Okay. Not, you don't have to post every day, but like when you get up in the morning, like for me, I know that I can get up in the morning. So my kids wake up around like 7:15. So I get up at 6:30. I make my post first thing in the morning, and then I enjoy my time with my kiddos. So like to me, because social media is such a big part of my business, I make sure that I get my post out first thing in the morning, because then I'm like, okay, my contribution's out there. What I used to do is I'd wake up in the morning, I'd grab my phone, and the first thing I do is I start scrolling, and I see the mom who just made her kids handmade lunch, and I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. And I see the guy who just got off the treadmill, and I'm like, good for you, right? I'm still in bed. And then I see someone else who sold their 100th house, and it's like March, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like I'm so behind for the day. Like, what a crappy way to wake up. You just wake up and you're already behind for the day. That doesn't feel good. So instead, what I do is I like to prep my posts the night before. I use an app called Google Keep, totally free. I prep my posts in there. I prep my hashtags in there. And you know how we talk about having 5 pillars of content? I have 5 hashtag sets for each pillar of content. I have one. So I have one hashtag set for realtors, one hashtag set for being or additional stream of income, one hashtag set, right? So I have all the different hashtag sets based off the different topics that I have, and they're all set in my Google Keep. So say I'm going to do a post about being a real estate agent, right? I'm literally going to prep my post the night before. That next morning when I'm ready to jam, I will post my reel, and then I write the caption that day, because I don't usually like to do it the night before. I want to be like wherever I'm inspired to take that day. And then I will go into my Google Keep, I'll pull the hashtags and I'll post them. Okay. You guys, I'm really hot. I think it's like because I'm having a child. So excuse me, I'm going to take off my shirt, not my shirt. I'm taking off my, oh, it's getting crazy, but I'm going to take this off really quick because I'm not going to make it the rest of this webinar if I have this on and I'm too hot. And then we'll fix everything. And I'm pregnant, and it just is what it is. And I'm sorry for the gentleman that's uncomfortable right now, but you hot flash when you're pregnant, and this is what happens. The end. Are we good? Are we okay? Let's keep going. Okay, great. Okay. I like to keep it real. So if you know me in real life, this is exactly how I am. If you know me on social, this is how I am. This is what you get. You're welcome, and I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to post first thing in the morning. So what I do is I'll post my first thing in the morning, and then I feel like, okay, I've got my contribution out there for the day. Now I can like breathe and do my thing because like I've done my part, right? And then let's see. Then people always say like, okay, are we posting business or are we posting personal? Like, what are we talking about here? I believe you do the 80-20 principle. 80% of what I'm posting, friends, it's personal. It's who I am. It's what I'm doing. It's what I'm reading. It's what I'm eating. It's what makes me tick as a person. Only 20% is going to be business, but it's not the boring, like, look at the house I just sold. Like, I'm going to give you really good, highly shareable business topics that you can talk about that's going to change the game for you. Okay. So 80% personal, 20% business. And I will say this, though, this is on your personal page. So that makes me think like, okay, do we have a personal page or do we have a business page? So I'm going to tell you this. If you're on Facebook, you need to have both. You need to have a personal page. You need to have a business page. Why? Because if somebody's going to Google Rachel Adams Lee Realtor, Northern California, where you're sending all your referrals. Did I say that? Oh, I already said that. Side note on that, you guys, you don't get the business you don't ask for. Never be afraid to tell somebody where you are, where you work, and that you're active in what you do. Because if you stay quiet, you're not going to get the business. So I always tell people, like, you'll notice, and one thing you're going to notice, which I'll show you, is like whenever I'm on social, I'm always like Rachel Adams, like Northern California, Northern California. I'm your girl, Northern California. I say it in so many social media posts because think about this. If I ask you right now, like, hey, who's your really good real estate friend in Alaska? You're like, I know I have a friend in Alaska or like Kentucky or Arizona. You're like, we have all these friends through the industry, but it's really hard to remember where they work because they don't talk about it very much. On social, this is your opportunity to really get to know your people and to really connect with them. So I encourage you to truly, truly like say where you are, where you serve. Don't be afraid to ask for that business. But this is the thing. I'm not asking for it 80% of the time. I'm asking for it 20% of the time. 20% of the time, 80% of the time, I'm just connecting as a mama, as a human, as a friend, right? I'm not asking for business so that when I do, it's not weird and yucky and slimy. It's like, oh, this is just like super normal. Okay. So do you need a business or personal? On Facebook, you need both because if you Google Rachel Adams Lee Realtor, my business page is going to come up. That's where you can boost ads through Brivity or Command or whatever CRM you're using. But I will tell you that all 100 referrals, so we get between 100 and 100 referrals, 100 and 130 referrals every year on social. And they come to my personal pages. They don't come to my business pages because people connect with me on a personal level, right? Allison said, would you say these models are the same for posting on team pages versus individual? No, definitely not. These are more for an individual agent posting on their social media to build their business. If you're posting on a business page, then you're definitely going to be doing more like community events and more real estate focused stuff. Your business page is not for all your personal stuff. Okay. And I do, which we'll talk about at the end, but I do audits for people, for agents with social, where we do a 1 hour call and we'll sit down and I'll literally, like, you have to have kind of thick skin, but we will go through your social media and I'm going to audit it and I'm going to tell you what's working, what isn't working. Then I will optimize your bio for the current algorithm that we're in. So we're going to like redo your bio so that like you're going to attract the right people. And then I physically create 50 pieces of content for you with the hooks, the captions, the calls to action. I write all the content for you. So that's if you're struggling on social and you're like, okay, class is so awesome. I'm so stoked. Also, oh my gosh, she talked really fast. I have no idea what I'm supposed to do next. You can book a one-on-one with me. Side note, if you guys are on Instagram, you need to make sure right away you change your profile from a personal profile to a creator. Creator profile is the only thing you should have on Instagram if you are a realtor or a business owner. Why? Because you have the most amount of trending audio and you have the most amount of insights. And knowing your analytics and your insights are crucial to understanding your audience and knowing how to grow. Okay. So you really want to make sure that you have the creator profile on Instagram. Am I doing a personal page? Yes, I'm always on a personal page and my personal page is public. Okay. You cannot build a business through social media with a private page. You can't, because the second you post, it's going to be the second you're posting, it's only going to go to the same people. Well, our goal is to grow your following, grow your business. And if it's going to a public audience, you can do that. Okay. Are you posting the same content on all platforms? Yes, Rita, I'm posting the same thing on Facebook and the same thing on Instagram. Okay. Okay. So, social media examples. So on Facebook, what you'll notice, the left is Facebook, right? The right is Instagram. You're noticing this is my personal page on the bottom. It's got my kid's cute little butt. It's got the feet, right? And then on my business page, it's branded. It's got my headshot. It's got my logo. It's got my brokerage, all the good stuff. So you clearly can see which one's my personal and my business page. And then on Instagram, guys, I don't know if this is going to make you guys really happy or really sad. You only need one page. You don't have to have a real estate page and a personal page. You get one page. God bless it, because having to manage all these pages is exhausting. One page on Instagram, the same thing you post on Instagram, you're going to post on Facebook, and you want it to be a creator profile. Okay. All right. How often are we posting? So you're going to be posting 3 to 5 times a week. So if you want to truly build a business through social, you're posting at least 3 to 5 times a week. When we dig into the algorithm changes, I'll walk through that a little more with you. But I really want you thinking like, okay, I'm posting 3 to 5 times a week. This is a mix of posts, reels, and carousel posts. In a perfect world, if you were like, Rachel, just tell me how to do this. Like there's too much here. I want you doing at least 2 personal posts a week, 1 business post a week, and 1 reel. 2 personal posts, 1 business post, and 1 reel. Okay. The reason that I want you to be intentional with reels is it's the number one thing that the algorithm favors above all else, Now I have over 400 agents that I do reels for every single week. So I'll share more with you at the end about that. But if you're like, okay, she knows what she's talking about, but I want the leverage. I want to do this, but I don't want to actually have to do it. I'll walk you through the end, like how I can do reels for you, because it's super simple. It's my passion. It's what I do. And I'm prepped way past having the baby. So don't worry about me having a kid. It won't affect any of us. Okay. How often are you responding? So, I believe in full transparency. And I will tell you that when I first met my husband, so before I met Ryan, I was single for 3 years after my divorce, and I kept dating guys that are like, I want a strong, independent woman. And then they meet me, they're like, ooh, maybe not that strong, maybe not that independent, right? And I met my husband, Ryan, and he was like, okay, I love what you're doing, and how can we make it even better? And I was like, ooh, like that's good stuff, right? And what happened though is like, I was on my phone a lot. And I had never had anyone call me out on being on my phone because I was single and building my business. And that's what I did. And he was like, I love what you're doing, but like, if we're going to have a family someday, like you have to have some boundaries around your phone. And I was like, oh, how dare you? Right. And I knew he was right. And so I believe in being proactive in my business, but I also believe in being proactive in my marriage. And we went to a pre-marriage retreat before we got married. And so when this issue came up, I was like, I don't have the tools and I'm getting really defensive when you're talking to me. So let's talk to someone. So we hired a marriage counselor, and she helped me create some healthy boundaries around my phone. And the funny thing was, is it's actually happened because we went to a pumpkin patch, and like the whole thing was like, we went to a pumpkin patch and we had our first kid, Henry. And we got there, we, picked out our pumpkins, did, ate popcorn, blah, 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 got back in the car. And I was like, that was fun. And he looks at me and he's like, was it? And I was like, yeah, why? Like, why is your voice weird? He's like, babe, you weren't there. You were so focused on getting the content. You weren't focused on what we were doing. And I was like, oh, like it just felt horrible, right? Because that's the last thing I want to do is be that person. And so when we went and got marriage coaching, what came out from that is like, there's this weird pressure, I think, where people feel like they have to tell everybody what they're doing all the time. Like you have to, if you're doing, if you're posting, like recording something, you have to post your story right then. You have to, like, everyone has to know. Reality, and what I love about it is like, nobody actually has to know what you're doing when you're doing it. And so what it looks like now is like, I will go to that pumpkin patch. And this is what happened last year. So I went to the pumpkin patch last October. I going to content, and just like with your buyer or seller, you set the expectation of what it's like when they work with you. I set the expectation with my family. I'm like, hey, you guys, we're gonna go to the pumpkin patch. Mommy and daddy are so excited. When we first get there, we're gonna take some videos and some pictures. And then as soon as we're done, we're gonna do that for like 10 minutes. And as soon as we're done, mommy's phone will go away and we're gonna have so much fun. And they're like, okay, cool. And that's what happens. I grab my pictures, I grab my video, but I don't post anything. I put my phone away so that I'm truly present with my family. And then when I'm ready for social, I'll post it. And what actually happened last year was that I forgot about the pumpkin patch. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're almost at like Halloween. I missed the pumpkin patch. So I posted it. And a girlfriend was like, oh my God, friend, we just missed you. Like we just left there. And I was like, dang it. I was there like 2 weeks ago. Right. But it just gives you permission that like, you don't have to share what you're doing all the time. You get to choose when you're on social. And that's my favorite thing. Like, so I run a real estate team, right? And there's like 8 of us or 10 now on the team. And, it's a lead generation lever I can turn on when I want to work and turn off when I don't. Now on my team, we're still really heavy with open houses. We do dialing, we do some door knocking, we do lots of client events, and every person on my team does social media. And in fact, to join my team, you have to sign a social media addendum because I have standards and expectations around social media for my team, right? And they know that if they're on our team, like they will be doing this, but I also provide the weekly reel for all of them. I give them a real estate post every week. I write the post, I do the caption, like I do everything for them. So it's literally like, just post do your job, right? But the boundaries that I created around social, so model 6 through 9, this part really is going to help you get, you know how I said we have 7 to 10% of our friends seeing our content? This is going to really help you get to the extra like 40%. So the cap you can get to right now is 40%. Okay. 40% on social. And so this is what I do. I make my post first thing in the morning. Remember how we talked about the algorithm and hitting the different parts of it? I want you to think of the algorithm almost like tools, right? So you can make a post, you can like something, you can go live, you can do a direct message, you can post a reel. Like I just named 5 different things. All of these things are tools. Bottom line is the more tools you use on social, the more eyes you're going to get on your content. Okay. And so this is the deal. I make my post. Okay. Then an hour later after I make my post, I go back in, I like, I comment, I engage. So what I just do, hit a tool because I made a post, like, comment, engage. I just hit 4 tools on the platform. The platform is going to be like, oh, she's doing something right. Let's give her more eyes on our content. Then an hour later before the end of the day, I go back in and I do the same thing. Okay. So twice a day I'm in there. Once I'm posting and twice a day I'm connecting with everybody. And that is literally how I build it. Okay. That is literally how I build my business is 3 times a day on social to post and then to respond to my people. So that's why, they call this, like, my husband refers to my phone as golden handcuffs, but they talk about like the iPhone prayer because all realtors are like, yeah, no, totally. Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. And like, that's how it goes for people. Like, you just need to know that you're not alone. If you're struggling with this and you're like addicted, like I'm curious, and I would love to know in the chat from you guys, how many hours would you say in total you're on social media a day? If you don't mind, would you guys put that in the chat for me? Like how many hours, 100 hours a day? How many hours would you say you're on social? So way too many. 3 hours, 20 minutes. Okay. 6 hours, 5 hours, 20 minutes. Not at all. Okay. 1 hour. Hi, Jenna. 4 you had to ask. You're so funny. Okay. So this is the thought. Does the amount of time you're on social equal the amount of business you're building, the amount of referrals you're getting from buyers and sellers? True question. Cindy says yes, absolutely not. Most of you guys are no. Okay. So what we're going to do for the rest of this, guys, is we're going to help you figure out how to create content that's highly shareable, highly engaging. And if you put boundaries around yourself with social, then you're going to have more time to do the things you want to do. And you're going to be using social media as a tool, because I love social. It's a tool for me. It's a tool for me. This is not my life. It is an important part of how I build my business, but it's a tool for me. So I want to like help you guys kind of like take the power back in your life so that you're not stressing. And this is just something that adds value to you. Does that sound good? Are we on board with that? Okay. So how do you lead gen on social? This is a really, really good script, and I want you guys to take a screenshot of it. A lot of times, if someone told me I had a door knock every day of the week at my age, I'm 40. I just turned 40, and I'm having a baby. It's totally fine. So if someone told me I need to lead generate and dial every day of the week, or knock every day of the week, or do social every day of the week, I'd be like, no, thank you. Like, I'm a realtor and we have short attention spans, and I don't want to spend that much time doing this, right? So what does it look like? What it looks like is this. I am going to lead generate for 2 hours. I do 2-hour blocks, whether I'm knocking, doing open houses are 3 hours, but knocking, open houses, circle prospecting, doesn't matter. I do 2-hour blocks. And this is what it looks like to lead generate on social. Okay. You're going to take a 2-hour block. You're going to go to a higher producing post that you have. Maybe it's a birthday post, anniversary post. You had something happen and you got a bunch of comments and likes. So most people, they look at the comments, and if you're doing my model, you're going to comment back to the comments in your time block time twice a day. And then you look at the likes and you're like, cool, I got 50 likes. I got 100 likes. I got 300 likes on that post, right? And most time it's just a vanity metric. You're like, cool, I got some likes. What you don't realize are those likes are a golden opportunity, right? A golden opportunity. What I do is when I have a post and it does well, I take a lead gen block and I'm like, okay, I'm going to lead gen on this post today. I go to the post, I click on the likes. and I send them a direct message. Because most of the time you just get the comments and nobody comments back to the likes. They're just like, oh, that's how many likes I got. I'm like, okay, let's like see how we can deepen this relationship. Because a like is someone who's literally sitting there going, hey, I see you. I see what you're doing. I'm interested, but nobody talks to them, right? So what I do is I click on the like and I send them a private message. Okay. They like my comment. I'm sending them a private message. And I'm saying this. Hey, so say that Whitney likes my post and Valentina comments on my post. Okay. So Valentina comments my post and it's an anniversary post. Ryan and I went to Tahoe and Valentina's like, oh my gosh, like happy anniversary, girl. Like, looks like you had the best time in Tahoe. So in my commenting time, I will respond to her and be like, friend, it was the best time ever. Like, thank you so much. Like, have a great day. Right. You just respond back to that person. But Whitney is literally a golden opportunity. She's sitting there going, hey, I see what you're doing. I'm watching you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on her like, and I'm going to go on her page and I'm going to see what's happening in her world. And I'm going to look for a milestone, something important to her. Like maybe her daughter just graduated from kindergarten or she just got back from a trip to like Hawaii, right? So I'm going to send her a private message and I'll be like, hey, Whitney, thanks so much for connecting with me on my anniversary post. We had the best time in Tahoe. Oh my gosh, I saw your daughter just graduated from kindergarten. What a huge milestone for you and your family. Do you guys have any plans coming up for the summer or for the rest of spring? Do you see how that works? Whitney liked my post. I send her a private message. I reference whatever post she commented on so she knows what I'm talking about. And then I bring it back specifically to her, something personal that happened to her, a milestone, and I ask a question. And what happens when you ask a question? You guys are going to respond. But now Whitney feels really like special and important that I'm paying attention to her and she's not just a follower for me, right? And we're going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And we're going to start to build a relationship. Now, it might be the same day, it might be the same week, it might be the same month. It's whenever it feels natural. I'm going to say something to the effect of, gosh, Whitney, I really feel like we've aligned so much in our personal lives, which makes me think we'd align in our business lives as well. I don't have a great referral partner in Whitney Johnson, where do you work, girl? Maybe she works in Arkansas, right? I'd be like, Whitney, I don't have a great referral partner in Arkansas. Do you have one in Northern California? You guys, it's not slimy. It's not gross because I'm building the relationship and I'm leading with the person, with the human, with something that matters to them. You are never going to walk up to someone in a grocery store, or good Lord, I hope you don't, and say, oh my gosh, I like your shoes. Do you want to buy or sell a house in real estate? Like, no, that's freaking weird. Don't be that weirdo on social. Make this about relationships. Make this about connection. You have to remember, I get over 100 referrals every year. And a lot of them are from realtors around the country because, I want to connect with these people. I want to build a relationship with these people. And I want them to be in line with like my life and what matters to me. Because I don't know about you, but I would so much rather give a referral to someone I really, really connect with than like Joe Schmo on the internet. You get to choose what you share on social. Like some people, because I do a lot of like coaching, right, with realtors, and I have some that are like, I'm really not comfortable posting that, like some people don't want to post their kids on social. Then you don't post your kids on social. You don't have to post your kids on social. There's a way to build a business through social without posting your kiddos. Like you get to choose what you share, and you choose when you share it. Like I don't ever talk about my two brothers on social media, ever. I never talk about, you would think I'm an only child. And it's because it's not a happy topic for me because it's been heavy and there's some difficult stuff there. So I don't talk about it on social media. So people don't know about it, right? And they don't ask about it because they don't know about it. And that's okay. You get to choose what you share and when you share it and why you share it or you don't. At the same time, we're having our fourth kid right now, but we've also had 4 losses on our journey to have our family. And I was not open in the beginning about our fertility struggles, but it got to a point after our second loss where I was like, I have such a strong support system and I still feel so alone because no one in my support system, like my husband or my friends, like none of them had experienced miscarriages and fertility drugs and all that stuff. And I was like, I have such a good support system and I still feel alone. What if there's people out there that don't have a support system? And so I asked my husband when I was like recovering from our second miscarriage, I was like, do you mind if I share about it? And he was like, babe, do whatever will make you feel good in this space. Like, I don't know, we have a therapist for you, but he's like, I don't know how to help, And I ended up sharing on social and I had such an incredible, warm, loving reaction And so many people who never shared their story then felt comfortable sharing theirs. And that to me is what's so cool. Like, yes, I want to sell a lot of houses, but like if I can impact people's lives and connect with people on like a real level, that is what it's so much more about for me. And like, I mean, I'm very open about, you know, my faith and stuff. And I believe in prayer and I pray for people. And sometimes I'm just like, how can I pray for you today? And if that makes somebody uncomfortable, that's okay. They can just scroll past, right? They can scroll past it. And that's the thing too. Like when I am doing this, just to give you the permission, when I'm doing this, you might click on someone's page and you see something and you're like, oh my gosh, I would never freaking be friends with this person. Like they're so gross. The way they talk about politics or whatever their beliefs are, like you're just like, we don't align. Don't send them a private message. Don't deepen that relationship. You get to choose who you surround yourself with in your real life, but also on social. And I'm a huge freaking fan of hitting the block button or delete or like, we no longer align, right? Because you get to choose who you are. Monica says, should we follow everybody that you DM or reach out? I think if you're building a relationship with them, yes, I think it's a really good idea to follow them. Eventually, you're going to get blocked and you can't follow more people. Like I think on Facebook, you're allowed, or on Instagram, you can follow like 5,000 people. And I don't even know the number on Facebook. But like at some point, you get blocked of how many people you can follow. So I would be intentional with who you're following or who you're friends with. Okay. Okay. So the next thing is, how do we get in front of the ideal people who we want referrals from that are not seeing our content? Remember how I told you that 7 to 10% of your friends are seeing your content and you want to get to that 40%? This is how you do it, guys. So I call it your top 25. So every single month, I want you to go through social. You can do Facebook or Instagram, or you can do both, whatever you prefer if you want to do 50. But what I do is every month on my team, we take pen to paper and we write 25 names. 25 names of people we are already friends with on social, but we're not seeing their content. Okay, 25 names. Now, I'm a theme girl, so I'll go 25 local business owners one month. I'll do 25 realtors around the country the next month. I'll do 25 past clients the third month, right? And so what you're doing is you're going through your social media and you're finding people that you're already friends with, right? Because your highest chance of getting a referral is someone who already likes you, who loves you, who wants to refer business to you, but you're not top of mind because the algorithm isn't putting you in front of them. So you pick 25 names of people you're already friends with, but you're not seeing their content. And then you do my rule of 5-5-5. So it's called Rachel's rule of 5-5-5. And this is what it is. 5 minutes before you make a post, you're going to comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. I'm going to say it again. 5 minutes before you make a post, you're going to comment on 5 people's post, a comment of 5 words or more. Okay. And who are these 5 people? They're from your list to your top 25. Okay. So you are connecting with 5 people from your list to your top 25. 5 minutes before you make a post, a comment of 5 words or more. What does it do? You guys, it wakes up the algorithm like freaking crazy. You make a post. So like, this is how the whole thing works. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, oh, okay, ready for social. I hit my 5-5-5. I make my post. An hour later, I go back in, I connect with everybody to wake up the algorithm. Hour before the end of the day, I do it all over again. Connect with those people again. I respond to everybody. You see what I mean? Now, I will tell you, I coach agents from all around the country, all over the world. And it's funny because when they start to really implement my model, they're like, Rachel, I'm like overwhelmed. I had no idea I would get this much interaction. But the cool thing is when you really follow this intentionally, your story views go up, your comments go up, your likes go up, but then eventually your referrals start to grow. How are you guys doing? We just got through the model. Are you guys like, what's your biggest aha or the biggest thing where you're like, she's talking to me, I'm going to implement this. This is so cool. Like, tell me how you guys are doing right now. Cause we're going to move on to the algorithm changes. Is everybody doing okay? You guys have your water, your coffee? Crushing. Love it. Austin. Hype man. Thank you. Not understanding. You open their post. Okay. So what I'm saying is, Sandra, is you're going to make a post, okay? Before you make your post, you're going to go to your list of your 25 people and you're going to pick 5 of them. You're going to on their page, you're going to comment on 5 people's posts, a comment of 5 words or more, okay? So you're going to post. Before you do that, you prime the algorithm to see your content, okay? Valentine wants me to go back to Model 8 for a second. Model 8 is your top 25, girl. So you're literally putting down 25 names of people you're already friends with, but you're not seeing their content. Okay. Ready to keep jamming? Oops. That would be my mom. The only person who rings on my phone when I'm working is my mom, my husband, or my nanny. So if it's ringing, then I know it's one of them. I'm going to tell her that I'm teaching a class. And if it's an emergency, she will call me back. I never know. I saw this really funny reel on TikTok that I'm like, oh, I want to do that. I don't use TikTok, by the way, but one of my girlfriends sent it to me. And it was super funny, and it was something like, my mom's calling, and I never know if like there's like a real emergency or like she forgot her password to Hulu or something. And I was like, oh, that's so my life right now. Um, okay, so let's see. Yeah, the timing of comments. So this is the thing, you guys. Like, if you don't put some boundaries around social, you're the person who's on here 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, and you're not getting anything done. You're just scrolling, but you're not building your business. You're not building relationships. What I want you to do is be intentional with social media. You can still scroll, but set a timer. Set a timer so it's not taking over your life. All right. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to break down the main changes that happened from 2024 to 2025 with the algorithm. But again, the one thing, the biggest, most important thing as you think about is your watch time. The more quality, high engaging, good content you can put on your platform, the more likely you're going to have people wanting to see your content. Okay. So 2024 was all about reels. Do your video, focus on video. It's only video. Video is the only thing that matters. If you're not putting your face on social, you suck. You're not going to go anywhere. Luckily, because in 2025, it shifted from reels and carousel. So the number one way to grow on social is reels still. It's the number one thing the algorithm favors above all else is your video. But then also carousels. Carousels are, which I'll show you how to do them here in this training. But a carousel post is like when you're on Instagram and you see people like scrolling, right? And you can scroll to the right and you're just like watching through. The reason why those do so well is your watch time is there because they're scrolling, they're looking at your pictures, they're reading your caption, and the longer they're doing it, the longer they're on your page. So carousel posts are a really good way to build your audience and get out there, but you don't have to be on video live and like show your face all the time. 2024 was all about hashtags. 2025 is more about keywords. Now, what is it between a hashtag and a keyword? Not very much. You take off the hashtag and you literally put a space in between it, and then you do comments in between them. Full transparency, I'm still a hashtag girl, so I have not implemented this and it has not hurt my content at all. However, the algorithm has changed it to where you do keywords. So that's what you'll see when you see like content creators posting, and underneath they just write like real estate mom, realtor, like living a legacy or whatever. That's called a keyword, where they're just like putting in keywords that matter. Really good tip to use is with ChatGPT. You could literally say, give me 30 trending hashtags with 6 geo hashtags for Northern California about being a luxury realtor. And you literally put that in and it's going to give you 30 hashtags. Now, 30 hashtags is the max you can do on social. So I would definitely say 30 is it. Sherry said her hashtags hurt you now. It does not hurt you. People are ridiculous with that. They're like, oh, make sure you don't do more than 6. It does not hurt your content. I am proof of that because it's silly. People are weird and feisty about hashtags when in reality, like it doesn't freaking matter. The way I want you to think of hashtags is like, they're just like little arrows. They're little arrows pointing to your content. And some people look up stuff by hashtags and other people don't. So it's not a huge deal. It's not going to like make or break your page. You can use them. You don't have to. Don't stress about it. I always use them on mine because if I have room, but I'm a wordy girl and sometimes I talk too much and I don't have space for the hashtags and I'm not like, oh, I'm not going to post it. Or I'm going to shorten this so I can get the hashtags in. Don't stress about it. Not a big deal. 2024, all about likes and comments. 2025, shares and saves. Yes, it's good to have people like your content and comment on it, but it's more important to have shares and saves, because if you do shares and saves, then you're sharing content into not only my followers, but all of your followers. And when you're saving the content, it tells the algorithm like, oh, she's doing some really good content that's adding value to people. Let's push her in front of more of an audience. Okay. Now, 2024, it was like you have to, I mean, they were literally encouraging you to post like 3 times a day, like make a post, do a reel, get in your stories. 2025, I'm so grateful that it is more about quality and less quantity. So they want you posting less, but doing better quantity or quality posts. Okay. So you don't have to focus so much on doing as many posts. Like I said, truly, if you wanted to build a sustainable business on social, 2 personal posts, 1 business post, 1 reel, and I can take care of the reel for you. Like that is all you have to do to build a business on social. Stories, I still really like stories because stories are like the secret, like behind the scenes of like what's happening in your life and what's going on. And everyone's like excited about stories and they feel like they get to know the real you. So like my posts are much more well thought out. I'm like polished. I think through what I'm going to post. My stories are like hot mess express. This is what's happening today. My kid just peed on my leg. Like whatever's really going on behind the scenes, I feel much more like, okay, let's talk about it in the stories, where I'm not going to share all that stuff in my posts because it's just too much. The magic number for stories right now is 10 stories in 24 hours. 10 stories in 24 hours. But that can be like a meme that you think is funny. Share that. You could talk on camera for 30 seconds. That's 2 stories right there, right? So the magic number of stories is 10 stories in 24 hours. But don't just post something to post something. Don't be like, oh, I haven't posted a story today. Post it because it's going to add value to your audience and be like a pillar of who you are, not just something random that's like out of left field because you feel like you have to post. There are days where I'm like, oh, I have to post on social. If I feel like I have to, I don't do it because I'm not going to show up as the best version of me and I'm doing it for the wrong reasons. So if I'm not posting for the right reasons, I don't put it out there. 2024 was all about short clips and B-roll, which B-roll is basically where you film something where you have no intention of talking over it. You pair it with trending audio, so you pair it with music. It's like I'm talking on my cell phone, I'm typing on a computer, I'm walking down a street. That's all B-roll options. In 2025, they're encouraging more talking head reels. Talking head is like where you have your phone and you're literally talking to your phone, because that is where you build more connection with your audience and they're seeing your tone and they're hearing how you talk and they're like, you guys can tell I'm a karate chopper. Like I talk with my hands a lot. That's normal for me. And so, if I'm doing a reel, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to talk with my hands because this is like, if we were in real life, like this is what it would be like. So they are encouraging you to not just do B-roll now. And you can talk, you can actually talk on your reel too. You don't have to just do music. So 2024 was like quick 3-second reels, 5-second reels, 20-second reels, like, right? 2025, they can be up to 3 minutes now, a 3-minute reel. Now, I wouldn't encourage you to do too many 3-minute reels unless you're giving crazy good value driven content. If you're just doing a market update, not really going to get you there. People are going to think you're real boring because most people that do market updates are like, hey guys, Rachel here, realtor in Sacramento. Just want to tell you what's going on in the market. No, don't ever do that. And in fact, if you're doing video, don't ever introduce yourself. Don't start with your video like, hey, this is Rachel, your local realtor. Don't ever start like that. The way you start a video, guys, the way you start a video is you are going to start your video with the hook, something sexy, something that's going to grab their attention. The top 3 mistakes every seller is making that you're probably making right now. Hey guys, my name's Rachel. So you can introduce yourself after you hook them. After you hook them and you grab their attention, that's when you can then introduce yourself. But if you introduce yourself, you have to think about this. Do you know how long you have to grab their attention? Think about how fast you're scrolling. 2 seconds, kids. We have 2 seconds to grab their attention when you're scrolling. So you want to make sure that you're really intentional with what you're talking about and you grab their attention right out the gate. Okay. I still do, most of my reels are still short. They're usually under 10 seconds. I do B-roll, but it's because a lot of the time, just total transparency, you guys, I don't shower every day. I'm not showered. I'm not ready to do video every day. What I do when I do my content is I do all my content on Monday. So I do like recording days on Monday, and I know that my weeks get crazy. And so I'm a working mom. I've got a lot of 100 kids and I'm like, there's no reason to shower every day because there's dry shampoo and God created that for moms, right? So like, it's not necessary to me to do it every single day. Now, if I'm going to go see a client, of course, I'm going to be freshened up and all the things. They're not going to know I didn't shower that day. But I literally talk all the time on social about how I don't shower every day. And I don't think it's necessary for me. And it is what it is. I don't shower my kids every day. Like, it is my personal life. I don't care. If you don't like it, that's cool. You can't smell me through a computer. Like, do you think I showered today? You'll never know, right? What was really funny is there was one time I went to a listing and I get to the door and it was in Loomis. It was a luxury listing. So it was like over a million in Loomis, California. And I get to the door and I open the door and the seller says to me, oh, is today a shower day? And I was so embarrassed because it just like cracked me up because I'm like, oh, she's freaking following me on social. Because no seller would know that I don't shower every day unless you like actively follow me on social and you hear me talk about like my real life. And it just made me laugh so hard. And I was like, yes, totally lied to her face because I didn't shower that day. It was just like dry shampoo and magic. But I was like, oh my gosh, this cracked me up. It was so funny. But at the same time, it's like, I am my brand and my brand is being a working mom and not every day works out to shower and I don't care. I don't smell bad, but like I think it's important to be transparent on social media because I think a lot of people spend so much time like trying to have it look perfect, perfect life, perfect job, perfect hair, perfect, like all these things. It's like, it's exhausting. I would so much rather build a connection with someone who's real and authentic and connected versus anything else. You know what I mean? So, do a mix. You can do a mix of talking head reels that are a little bit longer. I have a hard time educating in a short time frame because I'm wordy, like I've talked about. So like I will talk a little bit longer on a talking head reel. So I like that we do have 3 hours, good Lord, 3 minutes if we need it. But I don't usually do them that long. Like this one was when an update changes on the algorithm, I always make a reel about it and I'll like talk to you guys about it and share what I'm doing, which is why you should be following me. But those are the longest ones that I have is when I'm educating. Okay, 2024, your captions could just be fluff. Do something quick, something short just to take up space. 2025 is much more about a story-driven caption, which again, your watch time matters. So when you do your captions, you want to make sure that you're educating, you're telling a story, you're taking them along a journey because they're going to read it. And the longer they're reading it, do you know what's happening on the top? Your watch time is just increasing. That what's crazy to me is that one reel that we had that went viral, like I can look at it, what it is now, because my husband and I were talking about watch time and how important watch time is. I'm just going to look it up and tell you guys really quick. Okay, so it's at 11.9 million views right now. And I'm going to look at the insights just to show you like what this is. So my watch time on this video right now shows you right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. 7 years, 157 days, 21 hours, 54 minutes, and 30 seconds. So people have watched this video 7 years worth of time. That is freaking nuts. That is nuts. But they're watching the video. It's a minute and 30-second video. They're watching the video and then they're reading my story and they're learning about our journey of infertility and they're learning about like who we are as a family. And then they hit that follow button because they're invested and they want to follow along with our journey, right? And you might be like, Rachel, that is so weird. Why would you want to get followers from like your mom life or whatever? But you have to remember this. You never know who's watching. You never know who you're going to inspire, and you never know where your next referral is coming from. I had this video where I saw this really sweet caption, and it said something like, it said that, like, I don't know if you know this, but kids don't have any memories past the age or before the age of like 3 or 4 or something like that. So it was like everything you do before then is just for you. So slow down and enjoy it, mama. Like that was what the caption was. I was like, oh, or the quote. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So I took a little video of my son crawling at the playground. I put the words over the screen and I posted it on social. And it did really well. It had a lot of people like it, had a lot of people share it because like other moms were like, oh my gosh, like that sentiment really meant something to them. But I got some followers from it. And then I got a referral. And the referral was from a mom. And she was in North Carolina and she was like, hey, Rachel, send a direct message. She's like, this might sound weird and random. She was like, but I found you through mama stuff. And I know that you work in California, but you said you can help people other places. My next door neighbor wants to sell her house in North Carolina. Do you know of any realtors? You guys, I made almost $4,000 from that referral check because I made a reel about my kid. But if anything, let that give you permission that you don't just have to post about real estate. because you're more than just selling houses and there should be other things you're passionate about. So share that, connect with that, talk with people about that too. Okay. So let's talk about shareable content, my sweet people. Let's talk about shareable content. So a couple things here. We have like things that are really shareable. The 5 best dog parks, the 4 top brunch spots in your city, top happy hour spots you need to hit, the 5 best date night locations, 5 reasons why you need to move to your city, 4 wineries you have to stop by this summer, day of the life in a realtor. You guys, all of these things are really, really helpful, good shareable pieces of content. Teresa just said, do I help those out who are just starting out in the business with content? Absolutely. When we do a one-on-one coaching call, like I said, I will audit your current content you have, even if you have some, none. I have people that are like, I'm so embarrassed. You're going to think I'm horrible. There's zero judgment here. This is what I do for a living, is to help you guys. So we audit your content. Then I'm going to interview you, and I'm going to interview you for about 20 minutes. I'm going to ask all these questions that get me just really a good insight into who you are, what matters to you, what makes you tick. And then I'm going to create content for you. Now, I tell you to do 5 pillars here. I do closer to like 10 pillars when I'm creating your 50 pieces of content. But then what you have is you get an email at the end that has the different pillars of content, and I'm giving you your hook. So the actual thing that's going to stop the scroll for your audience. I'm going to give you a caption. So I'm going to tell you what you're going to write about. The caption, though, I will say, is where you're going to put your spin on it, because I am not you. I can give you ideas, but at the end of the day, you have to put your own spin on it. So I'll give you the exact topic you're talking about. I'll give you the hook. I'll tell you what picture you're going to post with it. But you are going to put your own spin on the actual caption. And then I give you the call to action, the thing for them to do next when they're on social with you. Okay. Are you guys ready for some free stuff? So one thing that I always want to do is add value to you, and I want to make sure that it's free. So if you guys go to rachelsfreebies.com, rachelsfreebies.com, you guys get 20 hooks that I've used on my social media to help my content really do well and go viral. So go to rachelsfreebies.com, you snag those. They're completely free for you. I'll put the website right here for you so you guys can grab them. Rachel's, can't spell, freebies.com. Okay. Go there, grab it, take it, ask me questions. I got you. Okay, how do you get more likes on your content? So you're doing your content, you're like, but how do I get more people to see what I'm doing? I will tell you, like, the more likes your content get is going to be relevant to the higher Instagram is going to rank it for your followers. So really sharing relatable moments that other people can resonate with, like things every home buyer in, Sacramento has experienced. Why I became a real estate agent in Northern California. Here's how I prepped for this listing on the market. I actually have, a reel that I just did that I'm going to be putting out soon, where I was telling my husband, I was like, I think there's so I do a lot of expired listings as well. And I always say there's 3 reasons that a house doesn't sell. And so I have these 3 reasons, and I give the spiel to the seller. And I have this page in my listing presentation that I share with sellers of why a house doesn't sell. And so I decided that I was going to take people behind the scenes and say, come with me to get ready to take a listing in, I forget where that one was. It was in Natomas. So I was like, come with me to take this new listing in Natomas. And this is how I figure out the value. So I'm taking them behind the scenes. So I have me making coffee in the morning, which I drink decaf. This is me with no caffeine, by the way. Can you imagine if I did drink caffeine? Yikes. So I show me in the morning, making my coffee. Then I take my coffee to my office. Then I sit down, I get my comps ready. I talk about that. Then I drive to the listing. Luckily, my husband was driving me that day. So I'm showing me working on the thing. You'll see me walk you through this entire thing, but everybody wants behind the scenes. Everybody wants to know what's happening in your world. And at the end, I'm going to add value. I'm going to tell people if they want to know how much their home is worth, reach out to me. So I'm going to hit my local peeps up. Then for realtors, because I want to add value to you guys, I'm going to say, hey, if you want a copy of my exact graphic that I put in my listing presentation, I forget what the call to action is, but I'm going to tell you to do something. And then I'm going to send you that graphic. And so for me, that is how I add value to my database. And I continually stay in front of people. It's just behind the scenes, people want it. So I want, and I know that post is going to do really well because it's highly adding value to people and it's good shareable content. So I will also tell you guys, you'll notice when you start to watch my content and follow my captions, I tell you what I want you to do. So I'm going to say, share this post with your real estate bestie who's struggling to get listings or whatever, because no one knows who you secretly share it with. But when you're sharing it, it hits the algorithm, which tells the algorithm I'm doing something right, which increases who sees it. And then it's this big, beautiful little funnel of good stuff on social. Jump on trends, use popular audio that aligns with your brands, funny, relatable content. The more your followers are going to like your content, the more Instagram's going to show your future posts in their feed. So make it personal and relatable. Okay. Now I post on Facebook and I post on Instagram. So just to share with you, truly still the majority of my referrals come from Facebook. They come from Facebook because I'm 40. And a lot of my audience is on Facebook. Like more younger generation tends to be on Instagram still. But all my coaching clients, they find me more on Instagram. So for me, I'm like a mix of both of them. So I will post the same thing on both platforms. I also have a YouTube channel, right? My thing is adding value. So whichever platform people want to be on, I want to make sure they can get my content in all the ways. Okay. How do you get more shares? Highly shareable content, local gems. So the 5 hidden coffee shops you need to try, funny or relatable content, tips and insights, like the 3 biggest mistakes home buyers make, local upstates, stunning visuals, like really giving people a reason to stop the scroll. You want to think like shareable content is going to reach new people, which are going to be your future leads. And if you keep it really local, it's going to help reach the right people and focus on posts your audience wants. And then they can send you direct messages and ask questions, or they can repost in their stories. I don't have it on this webinar, but one thing that I did work on was, it's called a lead magnet. A lead magnet is basically where you share something really valuable and really relatable to your audience, and then they want more of it. So they give you their information so you can get more of it. So I created these things that are called lead magnets, and I created 12 of them for realtors. One of the ones that I shared was the 10 cozy coffee shops you need to see, like you need to visit in Sacramento, California, right? So the 10 cozy coffee shops. And I literally took a video, which I can show you guys at the end. If you're like, can you show me this example? I'll walk you through it. So just remind me at the very end if you want to see the coffee example. But I literally took a video of like some coffee, like sipping coffee, whatever. Then at the top, my hook was the 10 cozy coffee shops you need to know about in Sacramento. Then in the caption, I talked about 3 of them. And I was like, if you want to list my top 10, comment coffee. They comment coffee. Then I instantly send them my guide for the top 10 coffee shops. And the guide is like all the value. And at the very end, I sell myself as a local realtor. So like I'm all about adding the value in all the ways to my followers, to my friends, to my clients. And at the end, I'm going to ask for the business. When we host a client event and we're doing a movie theater event, we rent out a movie theater for date night. We host the movie event. I thank everyone for coming. I let them know that our business grows by referral and we appreciate any and all they send our way, and enjoy the show. And they watch the movie. And at the very end, when they're leaving, I'm like, thank you so much for coming. Oh my gosh, have a wonderful night. I'm not like, who can sell now? Like, that's not what it is. But my follow-up at the end, you guys, my follow-up at the end is sending these people pictures of the movie event. I usually do a reel, thanking them and then saying, our business grows by referral. We appreciate any and all you send our way. That being said, can you think of anyone who's looking to buy or sell in the next like 3 months? Ask for the business after you add the value. Okay. So with these lead magnets, I have 12 of them. There's like 10 most walkable neighborhoods, 10 coffee shops. I can show you guys examples of what they look like if you want, or just send me a message when we're done with the webinar called and say lead magnets, or you can literally just send me a direct message on social and say lead magnets, and then I'll send them to you so you can see what I'm talking about. And yes, I automate the entire thing, Valentina. So you will write coffee and automatically I will send you the coffee link. You won't comment walking. Automatically I will send you walking. All of it is automated through social so that I'm not actually doing this. And I'll tell you guys what that process is. Let's talk a little bit about our bio. So, and I'm not able to answer your questions right now only because I need to get through the content. And then at the end, I'll have time for Q&A. So keep your questions. Just know that I will ask them. Okay. Or answer them. So your bio. I want you to think of your bio as your online business card. Okay. I want you to think of it as like the first opportunity for them to see who you are. So you always want to make sure you say who you are, the area that you serve, some credibility of why they'd want to work with you, something personal, and then you want to have a call to action. My call to action is click below for coaching and real estate. Okay. I'm always going to tell them what I want them to do and how I want them to get there. So, area you serve, credibility, personal, call to action. Okay. Take a screenshot of this one because I don't dig into it too hard because we have a lot more that we need to go through. All right. Do we need to have a public page or a personal page? Or a private page. I kind of answered this one already, but if you are building a business through social, you've got to be public. You absolutely have to be public because say that you're like, meet someone at an open house and then they're like, oh, follow me on Instagram. And then they send you a follow request and you're private. By the time you accept their friend request, they have no idea who you are. They don't remember what they have for breakfast. So they certainly aren't going to remember some realtor they met at an open house, right? So I really want to encourage you when you're doing social media, make sure you have a public page so that they can see who you are. The second that they go on your content, they're gonna be like, is this somebody I would be friends with? Do I want to follow them? Are they posting just like, I can't tell you how many agents I audit your content and your page is just filled with static graphics that you hired some freaking marketing company to pay to do. And it's like your headshot and it's like happy Easter, your headshot, time change. Oh, the rates changed. You guys, the reason that you have those posts and you click on them and no one's liking them except like your mom and two of your real estate friends is because the algorithm hates that. Because if they think you're trying to sell something, they're going to kill it and not let anyone see it. So when I'm doing auditing with people, that's one of the first things I say is we got to stop. Whoever you're paying to do this, stop paying them your money because you're wasting it. This is not going to convert for you. This is not going to grow your following. This is not going to grow your audience. Okay. How do you do a post? If you're actually posting on social, like how are you doing this and what does it look like? What I will tell you is it's going to look like this. It is going to look like your hook is at the top. Your hook is the topic of whatever you're talking about. This one's a sour candy charcuterie board. The body of your post or the caption is whatever it's about. So fun fact, I don't like any sour candy. I'd rather have chocolate. However, my brother-in-law turned 40 and we hosted his birthday party. He loves sour candy, so I created this for him. Would you eat it? On this one, my call to action, guys, is a question. I don't need them to click on something. I'm not trying to sell them something in this. I'm just connecting with my audience and having some fun. 48 people liked it and 28 people commented. So if I was doing a lead gen block, I'd have 48 people I could send a private message to and 28 people I could comment back to. Okay. So I really think that this is something you can do. And this is how you write a post. So I like to break down the anatomy of a post because I feel like some people don't even know how they should be posting and they just like randomly put words out there, but you've got to give people a reason to stop the scroll. So eye-catching visual, good topic, right? Subject line, and then you put your caption. Kristen says she feels the pressure to still share those kind of posts on her business page. Yes, girl. Your business page and your stories are where you can post like anytime we do, because whenever we sell a house, we do a static post with the picture and the logo and all that. But I don't post that on my post because it's going to be killed in the algorithm and no one's going to see it. I don't post reviews and testimonials on my post because no one's going to see it because the algorithm doesn't like that stuff. But on your business page, go for it because no one actually cares about your business page. It's just there for credibility. And then on your stories, that's where you're going to share that stuff. So go for it and share it in your stories, but please stop putting it on your page because the algorithm's going to kill it and they're going to do the opposite of what you want. They're not going to let your people see it. Carousels. Let's talk about how to do a carousel post. So the carousel post, like I talked about, is where so if you're on Instagram, you know how like you'll be on Instagram and you can scroll, you just keep scrolling and you see all the pictures. That's a carousel post. The reason why these do really well is they're going to keep your users engaged longer. They're going to boost your engagement. You have multiple chances to be seen from them in your explore pages, from your actual captions, from your for your platform, and then from your stories. You'll get more shares and saves. And you'll get a mix of formats for more versatility. So carousel posts are a really cool way to build this. You can either do it directly through Instagram and put the words on it. This specific one that I did when I was doing my 2024 wrap up, I didn't post it till February because my life was crazy and busy and we found out we were pregnant and all the things. So I shared this in 2024 or 2025 in February, but I went in Canva, and I made just like a really simple outline. And then I put the wording on it on the top and the bottom, and I changed the wording and I changed the picture out. You can share up to 20 photos. I want to make sure you remember your hook, the thing that's going to grab their attention. Share a story with them. Make sure to pair this with trending audio, and don't forget your call to action. Okay. Make sure you have a call to action, because when you have a call to action, you tell them there's a reason for them to stop and see what you're doing. Okay. And then the swipe method for carousel posts work really well. You're going to have a strong hook. So that's your S. You start with either a bold question, a statement, or a problem. You're going to have a W. Why does this content matter to them? Why they should care. You're going to inform them. You're going to share valuable insights in a clear, digestible way. The P is provide a summary. You want to reinforce key takeaways from your post. And then E, you always end with a call to action. Give them a reason to do something next. Okay. Now let's talk about a couple changes that are happening with the algorithm. Okay. I know this is a lot. So like, if you guys are feeling overwhelmed, it's totally okay. Take a deep breath. It's all going to be okay. But I want you to know that like the algorithm, it's always changing. The one thing you can guarantee is the same thing in real estate market that we know is always going to happen is the same thing on social. The market is always going to be changing. Okay. So a couple things to know that the market is doing, that it's changing, is number one, the grids are no longer square. So before they were 1080 by 1080, now they're 3x4. So your posts, the actual look of your content has changed. Some people were like, oh my gosh, my life is ruined. Like all the content I had before. You guys, don't worry about the content you had before. Oh, don't worry about the change. Like you're like, oh my gosh, I've been paying for this person to do my graphics for so long and I've never gotten any business. I'm wasting my money. You know what? It's all in the past, because guess what time it is? It's 12:22. 22 is my favorite number. It's 12:22 Pacific time right now. All is forgiven. We're starting fresh. What happened then doesn't matter anymore. It's all good. And it's all going to be fine. You just move forward. All you have to know is that when you're doing your posts, you have to watch the new posting size so that your content is good. Okay. Now, this is a biggie. This is a biggie and something that every realtor needs to know about. So let's just like take a minute, shake it off, literally shake it off. You guys are learning a lot. You're probably like, is anyone feeling overwhelmed? Or are you guys just like jazzed and super stoked? Like, how are you guys feeling right now? So I'm going to share something really important with you. That's going to be super helpful for your business right now. Marcy's feeling both. Wanting to see 2 slides ago. What's 2 slides ago? Oh, swipe method. Take a picture of it. Sahar, you got to keep up with us. What are you doing to me? Just kidding. You better have gotten it. Okay. So I don't know how many of you guys have heard about Stand Store, but if you don't know what Stand Store is, you are in for a treat, because Stand Store is the #1 converting tool for me on social media by far. With coaching products that I do, digital products that I do, lead magnets that I do, and buyers and sellers. So this is the deal. I'm going to show you what Stand Store is right now. So if you go on my Instagram and you see right here, we have my name, what I do, where I serve, my credibility, right? Wife and mom. Then we have my call to action, which is click below for coaching and real estate. You're going to click here. You guys, every one of you needs this. And I'm going to give you the templates for free. So I won't charge you anything. I'll give you all my templates for how I do this. But basically what you're going to do is you're going to create a Stand Store. Now, I don't want any of you to do this yet. Okay. Because I will give you all the steps to how to do it. You're going to create a Stand Store. What's super cool about it is it's all branded to you. So you get to pick your brand colors. You put your headshot in there, your little mini bio. Now for me, I do a lot of coaching, right? So like all the content we're going to talk about today, it's all in my Stand Store. But for you guys, you're going to have a section that looks like this. You're going to have home buyers, home sellers, instant valuation, start the home buying process, sell your home. The reason why this converts so high is when most people just put their website in their Instagram and they're like, click here to, click my link in my bio. You see people say that all the time. What's really freaking cool here is they don't have to be like, where do I go? They click here. Oh, I want to sell my home. Oh, I want to find a valuation. Everything's exact. If you have a podcast, they can go here. Say that you're doing like clothing drive and you want to have them like drop off clothes, or you're doing a donation for something, you're collecting money. All of it can be done through here. So you'll have a home buyer, home seller, and then instant valuation page. But then you know how I talked about those lead magnets? Best happy hour deals in Northern California, best weekend getaway within 2 hours of Sacramento, 10 fun indoor activities. They're right here. And so what's really, really cool, and I'm going to give you guys this so you can grab it really quick. Hold on. Okay. What's really cool, I'm going to put this in the chat for you guys. You guys make sure to grab that link. Okay. So with StanStore, what's really neat is so you know how like for a lot of you, and if you follow me on social, you'll know whenever I do a class or whenever I want you to grab something, I'm like, comment open house. And then you'll get the open house 18-minute video. So like literally right now, you guys can see how this works. Go to my Instagram right this second, go to my Instagram and comment open house on any reel that I have. It doesn't matter which reel it is or post. Go on Instagram and comment open house. And I want you to tell me what happens. I want you to check your inbox and tell me what happens. You have to be following me for this to work. Otherwise it doesn't work. But go to my Instagram, comment open house, and tell me what happens right now in your inbox, like in 2 seconds. And I'm right here so you can see I'm not doing anything. Someone do it and tell me what just happened. Instant response. And what did you get? You got my 18-minute open house video. It's an automatic message from me. This is the ultimate leverage. Okay. So I have used, it's called AI automation. It has changed the game for me with social. I have used ManyChat for like 2 years now. ManyChat is $45 a month. And all it does is what I just did for you. It just like sends you an automatic link. StanStore, the thing that I just showed you, it's your branded landing page. It's all of your links, but it also has an auto DM feature doing the exact same thing. And it's $29 a month or $300 for the year. If you were in real estate, you guys, you 100% should have a StanStore because it is the #1 conversion tool for me. Every single one of those, whether it's the coffee shop or the 10 most walkable neighborhoods or happy hours, every one of those, you're going to comment like coffee. Like if you went on my social right now and you commented coffee, you're going to instantly get that value, or you're going to get the response from me. You're going to put in your information. You get my really pretty graphic that talks about the 10 coffee shops you need to know about, right? I sell myself at the end, but as soon as you put your information in, boom, you hit my CRM as a lead. So then I can follow up with you and be like, hey, I saw you just downloaded my coffee shops. That's so awesome. Like my favorite one is, the chocolate fish in downtown Sacramento. You've got to try their honey lavender latte. So are you working in Northern California, or like, do you live in Northern California? Are you looking to buy a house, or like, what's your situation? They're all leads. All leads. You guys, it is so dang good. It is so good. It's going to change the game for you. Everybody should have a StanStore. And if you use that link that I put in the chat for you here, or if you send me a message and say StanStore, I'll send it to you. 2 things for you. One, I'll give you my 3 templates, my buyer, seller, and instant valuation template for free. Also, my husband, Ryan, and I spent 22 minutes, happened to be 22, my favorite number. And we made a video for you teaching you how to set up your StanStore, brand it to yourself, link your CRM, like all the things. So I would encourage everybody to have one of those pages. Like it, for me as a coach and as a realtor, it's given me so much more of my time back, but also makes you look really professional. So like people used to use like campsite bio and Linktree and all that. This has replaced that, and it has all of the features. So yeah, comment StanStore, not here on my social media, because I won't be seeing this because this is with Forwards Coaching. But if you comment StanStore, then I'll send you all the good things. And just make sure to use my link, because once you use my link, it tells me you used it. So then I can send you the templates. All right, let's keep jamming. How are we on time? Okay, we're doing fine. You guys, after this, I'm going to need a nap, because can you imagine doing this pregnant? Like I'm literally feeling my baby kicking me right now. It's like, Mom, are we done yet? Okay. So let's just break it down a little bit because I know this was all a lot. So the algorithm has changed. Social media is bananas. It's beautiful. It's messy. It's all the things. So this is, yeah, it's a great way to connect with referral agents. Amen. Yes. All this stuff is so good. So this is how, oh my gosh, you're so cute. She's like, Lord Almighty, I'm not pregnant. My kids are grown. So impressed I can do all this. I am tired, but like, I don't know. Like this, I'm just, I'm like a go kind of person. I do sleep well at night, but like, I go and I don't know how not to. So like, it's just what I do. Um, but I think if I didn't know me, I'd be like, I think that chick is crazy. So if you're thinking that, you're not alone. My husband all the time is like, I don't like, we just had our baby shower, our last baby shower. And we call it like my baby wedding because I always go like all out for everything I do. And when it was all set up before everybody got there, I looked at my husband and I was like, how do you feel that like all of this was in my head before? He was like, I'm not surprised. He's like you are who you are. I'll be posting the shower. That was really pretty. The theme was, a teeny tot is coming because I love espresso martinis and I can't drink them right now, but I wanted all my friends to. So I made an espresso martini themed baby shower. It was super cute. Okay, so, all right, let's break down like some of the most important things here. How much are we posting? How much do we have to show up on this thing? I want you trying to do 2 personal posts a week, 1 business post a week, and 1 reel. Okay. I want you to have a hook. Everything you do, I want you to think about having a hook, a reason for them to stop the scroll. Use either ManyChat or StanStore as an automation tool. I think everybody should have a StanStore instead of their link in bio. And you want to be posting between like 5 and 10 stories. 10 is the sweet number. 5 is probably the minimum you could do in 24 hours. But you really want to be focusing on, like, again, watch time. It's all about watch time. Oopsie, how did I do that? Sorry. I didn't mean to stop sharing. It's all about watch time and really just like getting to know as many people as you possibly can. So what are some upcoming updates? What's happening on the gram? Couple different things. Highlights. So you know how on this right now on the screen, you see the little bubbles underneath my words. Those are going to be moving and not at the top anymore. So do you see how you can like see the grid posts, the reels, and you see anything you're tagged in? It's just going to be another button down there. So if you're not doing highlights right now, don't stress about starting. They're going to go away from what people see anyway. So don't worry about highlights. There's going to be an option where you can post directly to your grid without sharing to your feed. So if you don't want to post it to your feed, you just want to share it on your grid, you could do that. I don't know why anybody would ever do that because then it doesn't hit your audience, but there will be an option. You're going to be able to reorder your grid, giving you full control over its appearance. So like if you don't like the order in which some of your content is, you can shift that around. And then trial reels. Trial reels are already here. Basically what a trial reel is if you want to do a video and you want to have it, you can decide which one of your followers it goes to. If you like, you can actually, it goes to new followers first. So it'll go to new followers who don't see you yet. And then you can kind of test how that content does. And if you like how it does, then it can go to your actual feed. If you don't, you never have to post it. So kind of interesting. Bottom line, friends, people work with people they like and they like you, but they need to know who you are. They need to know what makes you tick. They need to know why they would want to be friends with you. And social media is a really great way to do that because it really does help them get to know who you are. And remember that perfection is overrated. You don't have to be perfect on this platform. You don't have to have the perfect life, the perfect job, the perfect hair, the perfect car. When I got a divorce from my ex-husband, I was so worried that people would like not want to work with a divorced realtor. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to judge me. So I hid it from everybody. And I did have the perfect life and the perfect job and the perfect car. And everyone was just like, oh my gosh, like you're so successful. Blah. And you know what happened? I ended up in the hospital. I ended up in the hospital with dehydration because I was doing everything for everybody else and I stopped taking care of me. There's only one of you. There's only one person that's going to get you to achieve your goals and get you where you want to go. And if you're not taking care of you, you can't take care of anyone else. So it really, really is important that you like take a breath, take a beat, look at how you've been doing your social. Is it adding value to you? Do you feel energized when you're doing it? Or do you be like, oh, I have to post on social, this is sucking the life out of me? Because I don't want that for you. I want this to be something that makes you feel good and makes you feel like positive and motivated and like it's something you want to do for your life. You know what I mean? Okay. The goal, guys, is to stop the scroll. The goal is to stop the scroll on social. So whenever you're doing it, I want you to think, would you stop scrolling for this? Why or why not? And then if not, what could you do to make it more appealing? Because I want this to be something that really adds value to you and changes the game for you. Okay. There's going to be times in your lives where you go to something, whether you meet someone or you listen to a podcast or you read something and you're like, this really resonated with me. That's when you share it with your audience. Because remember, it's all about adding value. I had a goal to meet Sarah Blakely, and she's the first self-made female billionaire. And I wanted to meet her. And there was an event that she was speaking at, and I knew she was going to be there. And they were like, she's not meeting anybody after. She has to get to the airport. And I was like, that's fine. I stalked that woman and I found out where she was going to be because I was like, I'm going to get a picture with her because she matters to me. And I took really good notes and I took some video. And guess what I did? I offered it to my followers. And I said, hey, if you want a copy of this, like, I would love to add value to you. 229 people asked for that content. 398 people, that was 2 or 3 days of a lead generation block because that many people I was able to add value to. And again, if you're constantly adding value to others, you become somebody they want in their world. And if you don't have your audience around you, if you don't have the people you want surrounding you, then you have to create it. Like, I created the Later Leaders of Real Estate. It's a free Facebook page. You're all welcome to join it. And it's a group for women. And we do everything from like what age to take your daughter to the gynecologist to like top listing presentation tips. Again, this makes a difference. It really makes a difference because I'm now surrounding myself with the people that I want to be around, right? And on social, you get to choose who that is. And some of my best friends, some of my greatest mentors are people that I met through social media, you know, and it can be what you want it to be. You just get to choose what that looks like. Bottom line is I want you to be a connector. I want you to think, how can I add value to others? How can I connect with this person, make a meaningful impact in their lives? I always add value. I always want to connect with my people. I mean, even when I'm doing like a buyer presentation or a listing presentation, my goal is to know what they need before they know they need it. So I have a preferred vendor sheet, and it goes in every buyer presentation and every listing presentation. And it's everything from like a moving company to a home inspector to interior design to a hairstylist to a vacation destination planner, like cleaning company. I want to add value literally online and offline as much as I can to absolutely everyone. I want you to remember this. Be authentic. Be you. It's exhausting to be anybody else. Like, there's so many times on social where you're just comparing yourself to other people and you're feeling less than. And when I have those moments, when I have those times, that's when I get off social media because I know it's not doing anything for me. It's just like taking from me. I like to give. I build my business by giving. 33 times throughout the year, I have a database drip campaign where I add value to my database. I do things for them to make their life better, to make their life happier. And then I ask for the business. I never just ask. I believe in giving. I believe in adding value to people. And then when it feels natural, you can ask for the business sometimes. Most people just take. They're takers. There's so many takers in this world. I don't want to be a taker. I want to be a giver. I want to be a giver. I want to add value. I want to connect. I want to pray for people. I want to like build a human connection. And then, by the way, if you need a realtor in Northern California or you need a social coach, like, that's where I commit, right? Last thing I want to touch on before we jump into the goodies we have for you is video. So why is video important? Couple things. It's the number one thing the algorithm favors above all else. Okay, you're going to keep up with the trends. Companies are advertising on social media versus magazine and radio. You can establish trust. Like, when you hear someone's tone of voice and you see them talk, you're like if you guys went out right now, if we were done and we went and grabbed a cup of coffee, you would be like, you're the exact same person you are on social media as you were on that webinar. That's the goal here. I want to establish trust. I want to make an emotional connection. I want you to know I'm the local expert. So the reason why I talk so much about everything locally is I want to create highly shareable content that people can share locally that's going to make an impact in their business and their lives. It's going to expand your reach and grow your following. The number one way to grow your following right now through social media is video. hands down, because it's what goes viral. It's highly shareable. People are going to want to connect with you. It really makes a big difference, and it boosts your online presence. And like I said, you now have 3 minutes or more to be able to build through social. And I have something that I'll share with you in just a minute here on how I can help you with your video. But the last thing I'm going to share with you is about watch time, because this is kind of like a theme we've had throughout the whole class, right? But your watch time is extremely important. You want to hook the viewers in the first 2 or 3 seconds with a bold question, a statement, something that's going to grab them. And you want to try to keep them engaged till the end. So the longer people watch, the more Instagram's going to push your content to new viewers. So you want to keep it short, keep it snappy, and full of value. Okay. And this is like a really good example of how it works. So like I had a reel where it was a short reel. It was only 7 seconds. I don't know if it'll play on here. Will it? No, it won't play yet. Okay, that's fine. So the reel that I did was 7 seconds. It literally was me walking through a lobby at a hotel, literally just walking. And on the reel, my hook was things that depreciate as soon as you buy them. Then a couple seconds later on the screen, it popped up: a car, your iPhone, designer purse, family RV, acai bowl. A couple seconds later, things that don't, boom, real estate. I paired it with trending audio. I had the hook. And then what do you see here, guys? We had over 2,000 people like it, 132 people comment, 365 people shared it. For me, that's really, really good engagement, okay? That's really, really good engagement. And the deal is, the reason why this did well is in the video, I'm entertaining them. In the caption, I educated them about building multiple streams of income by buying rental properties. And I talked about buying real estate. And a lot of people had opinions on it, which is fine, but it did really, really well in the algorithm. And this is an example of a reel that I can create for you guys when I do your weekly reels. All right. We're going to jump into some Q&A. Before we do that, I want to share with you some special stuff I have specifically for people that are watching this that are part of Forward Coaching or going to be part of Forward Coaching or just part of the Forward Coaching webinar fam. So I'm going to show you guys what, if you're like, okay, Rachel, I like it. I'm into it. I feel like I want more of you, but I don't know how. I feel overwhelmed. I'm excited. It's hot and so like wherever you are. I want to tell you how you can get more and what it can look like. First things first is the 50 pieces of content. And after we go through this, we'll jump into some Q&A for the rest of the time. 50 pieces of content. So what does this look like? This is kind of what we chatted about before, but now you sort of know my style. So what we will do is we will sit down and it's a 1-hour call. We're going to block it. These are all going to be done before the before like the 10th of June, because I will have a child and I'm not going to be working with you with a newborn on my chest. So this will be all happening within the next month. Basically what we're going to do is you're going to grab the 50 content slot, and there is a payment plan for this. You're going to grab the 50 content slot. You're going to sit down with me for an hour. I'm going to break down your content, talk about what's working, what isn't working. Then we're going to re-optimize your bio for the current algorithm we're in. I will physically write your bio for you, and then you copy and paste it. I give you your emojis, I do everything. Then I'm going to interview for about 20 minutes. I'm going to ask you all about your life, your interests, your goals, your future, what you want to, who you want to be known for, if you want to focus on luxury, like all the things. Then you're going to make the changes in the bio that I've just done for you in real time. And then I will, create your 50 pieces of content. And the way that it works is you're going to get an email from me on the same call, and it's going to have your different pillars of content. It's going to have your hook, your caption as suggested image, and your call to action. So every single pillar, I will write it for you. So all the guesswork is done. So literally you could have your content done for like the rest of the year. And then I will help you create your stand store. So we'll actually set up your stand store together, brand it together. I'll give you my wording. I'll give you the templates, all of that. So you can either just set up your stand store if you're like, nope, I don't need that. I can figure out my content on my own. You can get a stand store, no problem. But if you want that extra one-on-one and you're like, I need this, but I want the leverage, this is here for you. What if, so this is like individual agent, okay? Or team leader. What if you run a team or a market center? So So whether you run a brokerage or you run a team and you're like, Rachel, this is good, but I think I need a little more. So Market Center Social is the ultimate leverage for social media for teams and brokerages. So what's included in this? Well, every single week you're going to get a reel. Now with Market Center Social, the reel is different. It's not geared just towards real estate agents individually. We're focusing on, it's really the number one thing for recruitment and retention through social media. Okay. So it would be within recruiting, retention, culture, education, and either profit share or rev share. Totally custom to each brokerage and each team. So it's super different for each person. But every reel week, I'm doing a reel for you, editing it, writing it, writing your caption, your hook, all that good stuff. Then you get a content calendar. So every single day of the month, I'm going to give you a piece of content that you can post that's highly, highly shareable, that's not going to get killed by the algorithm. I'm also going to write that caption for you. So every single day of the month, you're going to have something you can post on social. And the idea here is that there are so many people that are telling the story wrong of the team and the brokerage. And, you might have these agents that you're wanting to call and you're like, oh, it's my dream agent to join my team. And they ghost you because why do they need to talk to you? They are happy where they are. But all of a sudden you're creating this crazy good content that they're sharing on social media. You're sharing the 5 best dog parks. You're sharing all these things that they're like, this is so good. Like, wait, who's doing this? Whose page is this? And all of a sudden it's you, the team or the brokerage creating this highly valuable content. They're going to be following you, connecting with you, and eventually they're going to want to sit down with you. And then I do live coaching once a month for this group. So for all my Market Center Social people, I do a live call once a month and I'm meeting with your social media managers. I also help you find and train that person for who's going to be running this program for you. And then we have a mastermind group for everyone who's a part of it. This is a fourth of the cost it is for everybody else that runs anything like this. Ours crushes it, not to be biased, but it's really, really fun. We have teams and brokerages all around the country. So if you're looking for leverage for recruitment and retention in the social space, this one is for you. And then we have weekly reels. So if you are an agent and you're wanting to do video, I was talking to you about this earlier, but I've got 400 agents plus I do this for every week. I write the script for you. I tell you exactly what you need to shoot of the video. You send the footage into my team. I edit it. I write the caption. I put the hook on there. Guys, this is only $97 a month. It's super cheap. It's under $100 a month for all of your video to be covered for your entire social media platform. This is a no freaking brainer. And it works really, really well. Our engagement we see for agents is up like 200% to like 495% with engagement and connection. So agents all around the country doing it. Don't stress if they're in your local market. Like this, they go viral for a reason because I'm pulling trending audio. So this one's really, really work. Yes, my dear, I do work with Canadian realtors all the time. I've got people all around the country, all around the world doing this stuff. So it works where you are. I make sure the trending audio is really good and on the upswing because my goal here is to help you, like all of the stuff I teach is to help you grow your following and get more referrals. Like that's my goal here is I want you to grow your following and get more referrals. So if you're struggling with that stuff on social, these are the things you need. Forward Coaching is going to be sending out an email to every single one of you with all of these links. So if you need them, make sure you reach out and get them. And then if you use my link for Stand Store, just make sure you reach out to me privately through social so I can send you my video on how to set up your Stand Store, my 22-minute video, and all my templates, okay? Lead magnets, we talked about that. So if you guys want those lead magnets, either email me or text me and type in lead magnet, or you can scan this QR code and it will take you over to the lead magnet section. What else? That's all. That's all we have, friends. Holy bajoli. So first off, we have a couple more minutes left for Q&A, which is exciting, but I want to just thank you for your time today and thank you for the opportunity with Forward Coaching and just all of you that hung in. We had how many of you? We had almost all of you stick around for the entire time. So whether we are friends on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you want to follow my podcast, these are all the places you can find me. Holy smokes, you guys. How are you feeling? What are we thinking? Talk to me about all the things. Ask any questions. No question's a silly question. Whew. We did it. We did it. 2 hours nonstop. You guys are either sick of me or you're like, I'd like to go to coffee with her. There's no in between. Okay, so Maria says, how do I handle the negative? You know what? It used to really bother me because the more visible you are on social media, the more like challenging it can be. I just always try to remember that it's whatever they're going through. Like when someone's negative towards you, it is a reflection on them and their lives, and it has nothing to do with me. And so I just really try to remember that and just not take it personally, but it definitely can be a little bit challenging. Anyone who's interested in the lead magnets, just message me magnet on social media and I'll give you the link for that. Let's see. What other questions do we have? Let's see. What AI or outsourcing services do I utilize to do this level of workload? Love my energy. Thank you. Okay. So, I will say that like when I'm doing posts, sometimes I will use ChatGPT to help me write the caption, but when you start doing this as like a business model, the workload doesn't feel as crazy if you chunk it down week by week. So like I will look at my schedule. So on my real estate team, I will ask like every Monday, I have my agents say the 3 social media posts they're going to make that week. They know their 5 pillars of content. And what that means, I have them looking at their calendar, seeing where they have opportunity to capture content. That's like what I'm doing with them. So we're taking the time, we're going slowly, we're like really methodically looking at their calendar, and they know, okay, so I'm going to do a mom post this week. Rachel's going to cover my real estate post this week, right? Like, oh, we've got the reel, but that's already covered. Like, so they're looking at their calendar and seeing where they have opportunity to capture content. And then I would encourage you, if you're doing video, pick a day of the week that you record. Don't record every day of the week. It's going to feel overwhelming. Try to post at least 3 times a week. There's 7 days in a week, which means 3 days of the week you're going to show up on social, which really only means you need to shower 3 days a week. Just kidding. That's just me. But I mean, you really can build this into a business if you try to like break it down. You know what I mean? So AI, the only thing I really do is like, I use it for automation, like for Stand Store. And when I'm having like trying to, get people to go somewhere or do something. And then, for like my hooks or for my captions. That's my main way. I have a YouTube video talking about like the 5 ways I use ChatGPT in my business, like for blogs and listing guides and stuff like that. So if you want more ChatGPT stuff, you can go to YouTube and grab that. Okay, let's see. I apologize. Where do I post the lead magnets and how do they work? Okay, let me show you one just so you can see what that example is really quick. So here's a lead magnet to show you guys what it looks like. Okay. So the first thing you're going to do is you're either going to do a carousel post or a reel with the topic. So here's my topic. We had 190,000 people see this. Why? Because it's highly shareable. The top 10 cozy coffee shops for entrepreneurs you need to know about. Okay, so you click on it. Paired with trending audio. Super simple video. Calling all coffee lovers, right? I talk about whether you're doing like meeting a girlfriend, grabbing a latte after a workout, or just needing to pick me up between showings. A good cup of coffee paired with a favorite snack is always a good go-to. I'm your go-to girl for all the hot spots in Sacramento and Placer County. Make sure you're following me, right? You don't get the business you didn't ask for. You don't get the followers you didn't ask for. So I tell them to follow me. Then I share with them 3 favorite coffee shops that I have. And I'm like, for the list of the top 10, comment coffee. And then what do? You guys heard me say this. Tag your business bestie and let's go sip and strategize. You guys, I'm telling them all the things I want them to do. Then they comment coffee. And then let me show you how it works. I'm just going to show you, take you behind the scenes. So projects, 12 pieces of content. Okay. So we talked about how I have these guides, right? These are my lead magnets. So all of these lead magnets are right here. So I have like 10 must-try taco spots in Northern California, 10 fun indoor activities for kids on a rainy day, right? But let's look at the coffee one. So I click on the coffee one. I'm going to scroll in a little bit for you guys. Here's my cover page, 10 cozy coffee shops in Sacramento. My welcome page, here's my guide. Then I walk through the coffee shops and I tell them like the location, I have a picture of it, why you're going to love it, what you should try there. And then at the end, I sell myself. I'm a top realtor. I've got you covered. If you're looking to find your dream home, sell for top dollar, invest wisely, I've got you covered. And then I have a way for them to reach out to me. Okay. So with the lead magnets, basically what happens is you get 12 of them. but you're going to either pair it with a reel to grab their information, or you're going to pair it with a carousel post or a static picture post. I like to do reels because I feel like they're like look really good and people get excited about them. So I find that those do really well. But again, it's totally up to you how you want to do it. For lead magnets, just message me magnet and then I'll send it to you guys. Okay, so let's see what else we got. What do I do if my following plateaus? If my following plateaus, I will usually look at the previous content that I've done and seeing like what people were engaging with well, and like where my audience was excited. And usually you're just not posting what they want. So you have to go back in and really, like, now that you know how to do the 5-5-5, I think that will help you grow your following and get it back up and moving. But like, relook at what your audience is engaging with and then give them more of what they want. What are the copyright guidelines when using other people's music on videos? If it is public on Instagram, you don't need to worry about it. So trending audio, if it's on Instagram, you can use it and you don't have to worry about the copyright because they'll handle that for you. There's no QR code for the Stan Store. If you just send me a message that says Stan Store on Instagram, I will send you the link for Stan Store. I think I put it, did I put it in here? Oh, look, there it is. I just put it in the chat again. And it doesn't charge you anything extra for using my link, by the way. It's just how I can track you to give you, it's an affiliate link, but I can track you to then give you my templates. When I'm creating a reel, do I appear in the reel or add yourself somehow? She's a complete novice and doesn't have a clue. So creating a reel, you don't always have to do you. That coffee one that I showed you, I'm just scanning a cup of coffee. Like I just showed the coffee. A lot of my reels, the weekly reels that I create for realtors are really simple. I'm going to be like, okay, so Marcia, I want you to be typing at the computer for 10 seconds smiling. I want you walking towards the camera and talking on your cell phone. I want you opening your refrigerator and smiling at the phone. Like I tell you exactly what I want you to do. All of mine are like under 10 seconds or less for you. And then what you do is you take that video, you upload it to Instagram. You're going to pair it with trending audio. You put the hook on the screen. You write the caption and you give them a call to action, which I know sounds like a lot and seems overwhelming, but you will get the hang of it if you do this. And if you don't want to do it, then just do the weekly reels for freaking $97 a month and we'll do it for you. Let's see. Hats are for, yes, I'm all about a good hat. Which programs will give you content every week? That's what stopped her as a business model. What I would say is if you're like, okay, Rachel, this sounds really good. I'm all in. What I would do is I would grab a 50 content call so that we can do custom content for your business where I'm actually creating content around your business that's different from everyone else that they're going to get. Then when we're on that call, you're going to want to have the weekly reels signed up for. So I will cover your posts, but you're going to want to have video too. So I would say if you're new and you're like, I want to do social media, I want to do real estate, I don't know how to start, grab a 50 content call so we can set your page up the right way and I can give you the content you're going to post and I'll train you on it. Then you're going to grab the weekly reels so that your video is covered. And then on our call, we can set up your Stan Store together. Do I think it's important to have a YouTube as well as Instagram and Facebook? So this is the thing. I think, guys, I know you're messaging me here for the magnets and Stan Store. We're going to send you an email at the end that's going to have all the links, but please message me through my social media if you need a link for Stan Store or magnets, because I'm not going to be able to see these comments once this is over. So YouTube, I think YouTube is a really powerful platform if you want to do long form content. Long form content is going to be more than 90 seconds where you're like sharing, educating, teaching. I don't think that YouTube is necessary for every person unless you want to have a place where you share longer form content. For me, my content is coaching for you guys. So I don't really have my YouTube channel for like real estate. I know a lot of like some buddies like Ken Pozak and Chris Colgan, they do a great job through YouTube and they're really focused on it. Mine is more for you guys and helping you build your business. So I think like if this is the deal. If you're going to be really consistent with it and take it seriously, then yeah, I think YouTube is a great platform. As long as you know that every YouTube video you do, you're going to do a reel first. So you're going to create a reel that's going to get people, and it's a short, sweet reel, like my one for the open house, right? Like I just posted of it and I was like, how I converted $1 million buyer at my last open house. I tell you in the quick video, these are the things I did for an 18-minute training on how I do my full open house system, comment open house, and then I'd send them to my YouTube channel. It is very hard to organically grow your YouTube channel without social media right now. So I would say if you're going to do YouTube, that is fine, as long as you're willing to do a reel or something through social media to direct them to your YouTube channel. Because if you try to upload, like say you're like, oh, I'm going to do YouTube, and then you're just like, my plan to grow my YouTube channel is just post the video on Facebook, they're going to kill it, because they don't want you leaving Facebook to go watch that video. They want you staying on the platform. And anything, that's why like people post their websites on social. I'm like, stop doing that. If you post a website on social, no one's going to see it because they're going to kill it. You have to do like a picture of what your video is. Then in the caption, you can put that link. That's like the loophole to get people to see it. But if you send them anywhere besides right where they are on social, the algorithm's going to kill it because they don't want anyone, they want you to stay there. Okay, got last question. Can you help create an audience? I have zero. I'm old and haven't figured this out yet. LOL. Trying to be young again. Yes, I will help you build your business through social. Grab a one-on-one call and we will literally we'll grow your social media from the ground up, and we'll teach you how to do it step by step. So you won't make mistakes, because the good news is you don't know what you're doing yet. So you won't make the mistakes. You can learn it the right way. I'll help you create your content. We'll figure out who you want to talk to and how you're going to talk to them. All right, my friends. Thank you so, so much for your time, for your attention, for hanging with me for 2 full hours. I appreciate you so much, to Forward Coaching, for giving me the opportunity and the platform to hang with you guys. I hope you got so much value out of this today. If you would be willing, I would be so appreciative if you guys would just jump over to my Instagram or Facebook or somewhere and just give me a quick testimonial of what you thought of the class and how it worked for you and what you got out of it. If you would just take the next like 3 minutes right when we hang up to just jump over to my social and give me a review, that would mean so much to me, because on Stand Store, I will put your review on my Stand Store when I teach these classes again. And so that's what I would ask of you. If you guys wouldn't mind reaching out over there and just giving me a quick little testimonial of the class, that would mean so much to me. And then I'll put your name on it and I'll give you a little review in my Stand Store, because I grow my business the same way you do, right? And you don't get the business you don't ask for. So thank you so much again for hanging with me today. I appreciate you all so much. I hope you got lots of value. If you're overwhelmed, that's okay. Take a deep breath, pick 1 or 2 things that I talked about and implement that. If you need any help with the coaching space, I've got your back. I am Forward Coaching's social media go-to guru for you now. So I'm super happy to be here and grateful for your time. See you later.